Think about your whole family life being challenged in a courtroom, the world listening to every sentence you utter, and the law itself you live, by potentially ripping your home apart. This was the truth for Kody Brown, the individual at the center of one of America's most infamous families. Kody Brown is not your average TV star. While most famous people face gossip and tabloid rumors, Kody's battles often played out in courtrooms, filled with tension, legal experts, and reporters. His story isn't just reality TV drama. It's about family, law, and survival in a world where his lifestyle is constantly under scrutiny. Polygamy, or the state of having more than one spouse, is against the law in the United States. But Kody openly lives the polygamous lifestyle with his 4 wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robin. To Kody, it was never a matter of being unlawful, it was about creating a loving family and guarding their lifestyle. But the law does not easily bend. Kody endured investigations, legal filings, and public condemnation for years. Every courtroom appearance was a high-stakes game of chess, where one misstep could imperil not just his reputation, but the safety of his entire family. This journey starts in a courtroom in Utah, as Kody enters with questions that would challenge his values, patience, and the love that bound his family. The air was tense, the cameras rolling, and the onlookers watching, as he got ready to defend not only his marriages, but the concept of family in the modern world. Kody's legal saga did not occur overnight. Years went by with neighbors, former friends, and even former family members complaining to authorities about whether Kody's household was legal or safe. Every tip gave rise to investigations, interviews, and courtroom hearings. Among the most dramatic moments was when authorities questioned the legality of his marriages. Only one of Kody's marriages is legal, and the others exist in a legal gray area. Officials viewed this as a potential crime, while Kody viewed it as something personal involving love and family commitment. Imagine sitting in a courtroom where your personal life is dissected, debated, and judged by strangers. Every statement Kody made could be twisted against him, every document analyzed for loopholes. The courtroom wasn't just a legal arena, it became a battleground for his family's identity. The media only fueled the tension. Reporters recorded each look, each smile, and each whisper in the courtroom, creating a public spectacle out of a legal disagreement. For Kody, remaining calm and composed was not a choice. It was part of maintaining his family's safety from both legal repercussions and public outrage. With these challenges, Kody proved to have a strategic brain and emotional strength, demonstrating the world that defending your family is not just about law, it's about bravery, preparation, and heart. Though the legality of Kody's marriages commanded the headlines, the most contentious courtroom battles were over custody and parenting. Critics questioned frequently if a big polygamous family was stable enough to nurture children. In a number of hearings, Kody was required to demonstrate his children were loved, supported, and nurtured despite the non-traditional family setup. One of the most heated hearings was over custody for multiple children. Defending attorneys claimed that the children would best thrive in a traditional family environment. Kody, though, had detailed schedules, educational plans, and demonstrations of daily activities illustrating how each child received attention, instruction, and affection. The courtroom was a site of conflict and revelation. Judges heard Kody explain his parenting style, focusing on cooperation among the wives and the need for each child to have their own needs met. The public tends to misjudge polygamous families as disorganized, but Kody's testimony revealed an organized, loving home. This episode drew a critical lesson: family isn't about numbers or standard expectations, it's about love, responsibility, and the desire to fight for the people you love. No courtroom tale is ever told without some drama, and Kody's courtroom saga had its share. Unseen tensions every so often broke through among the wives, and disagreements over money or assets sometimes leaked into hearings, creating additional depth to a very heated legal struggle. One of the surprising turns included a dispute over property with an old business partner. What was supposed to be a simple court process soon turned into an outright courtroom drama. Cameras recorded every debate, negotiation, and shouting match, so the hearing became news. Even in the midst of chaos, Kody's poise never falters. Lawyers commented on his calm strategic mind and capacity to stay focused on the larger agenda, keeping his family first and foremost. Every objection he spoke, every motion he filed, and every word he uttered was intentional to get the best for his loved ones. For audiences, these courtroom wars were not merely legal cases. They were a day-to-day drama in which love, fidelity, and law met. Kody's tale reminds us that there is a human story behind every headline, full of hardships, sacrifices, and acts of bravery. Kody Brown's courtroom wars were not merely legal issues. They were about perseverance, grit, and redefining family. In the face of ongoing public scrutiny and legal challenges, Kody walked through it with caution, patience, and attention to what was truly important: his family's harmony and welfare. Each hearing, each fight, and each court ruling became a lesson in refusing to bend under pressure. His experience teaches us a few valuable lessons: courage in adversity. It's scary to face a courtroom, but Kody demonstrated that bravery is not the lack of fear. Bravery is acting in spite of fear. Family first, all of the legal choices were motivated by the desire to keep loved ones safe. Resilience is everything. Adversity, criticism, and court battles are inevitable, but determination can transform them into triumphs. The courtroom was intimidating perhaps, but it became the setting where Kody demonstrated that family love and perseverance can conquer even the law itself. While the gavel came down and cameras rolled, the Brown family demonstrated to the world that courage, strength, and unity can conquer even the most daunting odds. And though the tale of Kody Brown's courtroom struggles is rife with drama, tension, and surprises, it ultimately teaches us that real-life heroes aren't ones without struggles, but ones who struggle with heart and intention. For Kody Brown and his family, however, life beyond the cameras was not always tranquil. While sister wives reflected moments of affection and everyday existence, the Browns were under constant legal watch behind the scenes. Their lifestyle, a man with multiple wives and a large mixed family, was disputed, and not everyone was okay with it. Neighbors, former acquaintances, and even ex-family members complained to authorities, inquiring as to whether the family environment was lawful or healthy. Every tip prompted a probe, sometimes even a visit from police to their house, where officers would question the family, look at papers, and attempt to find out about any infractions. For Kody, it was a delicate balance, being truthful with the authorities without compromising the privacy and security of his wives and kids. The most intense pressure was applied when authorities started questioning the legality of Kody's marriages. Of his marriages, only one, Robyn, was legally sanctioned according to U.S. law. The others were in a state of legal limbo, accepted spiritually, culturally, and morally by the family, but not legally sanctioned by the state. This legal uncertainty exposed the family to probing that had severe implications. Picture entering a courtroom where your entire personal life is scrutinized. Every utterance you make can be taped and turned against you. Every piece of legal paper can be challenged, and every domestic decision scrutinized for possible infractions. For Kody, the courtroom became not only a battle of the laws, but a platform where the very existence of his family's lifestyle was on the line. To the pressure, the media added. Newscasters, reporters, and camera crews covered every move, every look, and every argument. Yet the courtroom was not merely a sight for judges and attorneys. It was a public spectacle, with the world watching, whispering, and making opinions. What was supposed to be a private family issue turned into a spectacle, and Kody had to keep calm, collected, and calculated under extreme scrutiny. In the face of public pressure, Kody showed strength and wit. He and his attorneys painstakingly prepared for hearings, making sure every word was true, every paper was full, and every argument was legally based. Their mission was simple: to defend the family and way of life from being destroyed by the public or by loopholes in the law. Courtroom onlookers routinely commented on Kody's rare blend of cool-headed calm and acute strategic mind. The world saw his family as odd, but Kody presented them as unified, loving, and devoted to one another. His composure in crisis demonstrated that this was never merely about law savvy. It was about courage, heart, and a strong commitment to preserving family cohesion. With each obstacle, one thing was certain: Kody's wars weren't about legality alone, about defending the identity, values, and future of a family misunderstood by society and the law. Each hearing, each inquiry, and each courtroom hearing a constant reminder that family and love can be pushed to the extreme limits, but with tolerance and preparation, all differences are erased. Though the legality of Kody Brown's multiple marriages made headlines, the crux of the courtroom drama was the custody disputes over his children. Critics and officials wondered whether a big polygamous family would be able to offer a secure, supportive home for that many children. To Kody, it was not only a legal battle, but also a highly personal struggle to demonstrate that love, concern, and order are present in non-traditional families. One of the most intense courtroom hearings was a battle over the custody of some of his children. The opposing attorneys contended the children would be served better by traditional families, citing that having many parents and various siblings would cause confusion or neglect. But Kody was prepared. With careful planning, he laid out detailed calendars, education plans, and daily routines, demonstrating how each child was given one-on-one attention, direction, and nurturing. He described how the wives organized chores, splitting childcare, homeschooling, and activities, so no child was ever neglected. The court heard as Kody explained the family's creed: love is not divided, it multiplies. Each child, he maintained, had a voice, a mentor, and a support system that went beyond traditional standards. For Kody, showing this framework was essential. It wasn't about winning custody, about breaking stereotypes and establishing that non-traditional families can succeed. The courtroom tension was palpable. One could witness the burden of each and every word, the pressure of public opinion, and the apprehension of the fact that the verdict could alter the trajectory of his children's lives. The media spotlight threw a further dimension of intensity into the mix, with cameras recording each facial expression, each emotional look, and each tiniest reaction. In spite of the pressure, Kody kept his cool. His level-headed and systematic response impressed both the judge and the crowd, demonstrating that preparation, honesty, and a clear understanding of one's family could overwhelm prejudice and misconceptions. The hearings proved to be a testament to his commitment as a father and patriarch, demonstrating that his children's welfare was always his primary concern. Ultimately, the custody wars uncovered a fundamental truth: family is not characterized by legal documents or societal convention. It is characterized by love, concern, and responsibility. Kody's capacity to make his family appear to be neat, loving, and caring defied critics' assumptions and vindicated the determination of a family ready to battle for its own. This courtroom story session was more than a legal case. It was an emotional, high-stakes drama that highlighted the intensity of the Brown family relationship. For viewers, it was a glimpse into the lives of unconventional family, and a reminder that courage, preparation, and heart can triumph over even the toughest judgments. No courtroom tale is ever complete without surprises, fiery confrontations, and high-stakes tension, and Kody Brown's journey in court was no exception. Aside from questions of polygamy, legality, and custody battles, the courtroom transformed into a theater for underlying family conflicts, financial disagreements, and earth-shattering surprises that kept the public and media glued to their seats. A highly dramatic hearing was a dispute over property with an old business partner. What started as the usual legal process turned into a full-on courtroom spectacle. Cameras recorded each loud voice, each angry gesture, and each tense negotiation. The media latched on to the drama, staging it as headlines that portrayed the Browns as being in perpetual bickering. Within the family itself, the dynamics of having more than one wife often generated internal conflict that leaked into legal proceedings. Disagreements over money, parenting issues, and personal priorities occasionally became issues of contention in court. Even the most intimate family concerns were probed under the cold light of legal inquiry. In the midst of the chaos, Kody's calm never wavered. Witnesses would comment on his calm, calculating style, listening attentively, answering slowly, and never surrendering to feeling over intellect. All of his objections, All of his motions, and all of his statements were designed to shield both his family and his legal stand. The court drama wasn't about law. It was about keeping the family intact under tremendous outside pressure. Kody had to make sure the public spectacle did not break the family's solidarity or alienate his wives and children from each other. This juggling act called for patience, self-awareness, and a strict commitment to long-term objectives. Sometimes the courtroom seemed more like a game of high-stakes chess, with each player's move potentially having dramatic repercussions. Lawyers, judges, and press all observed intently, attempting to read his next move. But Kody's strength and composure enabled him to battle through these obstacles while maintaining his family intact. This session taught an important lesson: even when the world appears to be working against you, good leadership, planning, and emotional strength can convert potential disasters into triumphs. The Browns' courtroom wars were more than legal wars. They were a demonstration of the strength, commitment, and bravery required to defend family in the face of relentless adversarial inquiry. With secrets, tensions, and unexpected turns, Kody Brown demonstrated to the world that family and love can withstand even the most dramatic of hurdles, illustrating that family ties are sometimes stronger than the cruelest laws or the most vociferous detractors. After years of court cases, media attention, and courtroom intrigue, Kody Brown's saga is not just a series of hearings, it's a lesson in perseverance, grit, and the real definition of family. The courtrooms were perhaps daunting, but for Kody, they were arenas where he could stand up for the love, values, and oneness of his family. Perhaps the most impressive thing about Kody's journey is that he managed to stay strong through it all. Surrounded by allegations, custody battles, and financial examinations, Kody never for once wavered from what really mattered: safeguarding his wives and children, and keeping their lives as normal as possible. Each hearing called for strategy, patience, and emotional resilience. In those instances, Kody demonstrated that courage is not the absence of fear, but the power to act in spite of it. Another important lesson is derived from how Kody redefined what constituted family, legally and in the eyes of society. The public tends to judge according to norms and convention, yet Kody proved that family isn't necessarily about law, it's about love, responsibility, and care. His tidy, systematized, and loving home defied the stereotypes surrounding polygamist families, proving that non-conventional doesn't necessarily equal dysfunctional. The courtroom also brought out communication and togetherness. With several wives and many children, misunderstandings and tensions were unavoidable. Yet, by keeping open communication, communal responsibilities, and respect for one another, Kody managed to hold the family together, despite outside threats that could break them apart. This approach was not only crucial for triumphing in court, but in keeping a tight-knit, strong family intact. Kody's narrative also presents an example of resilience in the midst of public condemnation. Being under the constant gaze of the media, neighbors, and critics could have beaten down the family's self-esteem. However, Kody took these adversity as a challenge, demonstrating that persistence, integrity, and concentration can master even severe criticism. In the end, Kody Brown's courtroom struggles were about something greater than the law. They were about survival, identity, and the strength to live truthfully. His story reminds audiences that true strength lies in fighting for what you love when the world does not believe in you. Every court filing, every witness, and every obstacle affirm a guiding truth: family is worth fighting for, regardless of what stands in the way. As the gavel came down and the cameras began rolling, the Brown family came out of their experience not only as reality TV personalities, but as a testament to perseverance, unity, and love in unfamiliar settings. Their tale reminds us that courtroom wars, though trying in public, can show us the heart and character of those who will take a stand for what matters most. Ultimately, the story of Kody Brown is one of hope, strength, and resilience, a testament to the notion that even amidst the most egregious legal and societal struggles, a solid family can survive, prosper, and make a difference in the world.